Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto disappeared and was reborn in the DxD world while everyone watched his new life? Part 2. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. Which means she would be extremely sexy in the future. Imagine Naruto sleep with her every night, and then, before he could finish it, Jiraiya immediately being punched in the nose by an angry Tsunade, knocking him unconsciously and broke his nose in the process. Hey, Naruto-kun, promise me that you will never leave my side, and never do anything that will worry me. Rias, promise me, Rias said softly and hugged him even tighter, just like when we promised each other that day. She brought out her pinky finger and showed it to Naruto. The boy looked at her curiously but smiled and nodded his head. I promise. He hooked his finger to hers and the two of them smiled brightly. Oh, finally, Minato said with pride in his voice, I'm so proud of him. Well, of all the things that Silver Hand done to Naruto, I think giving him Hirushun was one of the best things, isn't it? Kakashi chuckled seeing his teacher in so much happiness like this. Well, shall we begin the next one? The third Hokage asked. Yes. A year after Naruto joined Searzex's peerage, and a lot had changed since then. Now, Naruto had the same type of education than Rias when she was at home during the summer vacation, but his tutor was Venelana Gremory, Rias's mother herself. She wanted a member of her oldest child's peerage to have the proper education and manners alike, and she kept muttering something about the future if things turned for the best with Naruto and Rias. Venelana had proved herself that she was a very strict tutor, and wouldn't forgive Naruto if he didn't repeat exactly what she was teaching him and wanted nothing but perfection. But thanks to this Naruto could finally remember the high-class society, their ways and what he needed to attend a high-class party. Naruto also remembered the name of the 72 Pillars of the Devil. He had managed to do it in just 1 month. Wow, Venelana-san must be really good, or she was an extremely strict. Iruka said amazement at Rias's mother. He still remembered all the years and days Naruto was still a student at the academy. He had a really hard time trying to teach Naruto all the basic thing about how to become a genin. Well, she is an high-class lady after all. Ino nodded her head. At least we knew that someone had taken care about Naruto's school work. I don't even want to think about what problems he will bring to their school. A few people, mainly the rookie 9 and the one that used to teach Naruto, chuckled. Even the third Hokage have to hold the laughter back. He missed all the years Naruto came to his office and screaming about being the next Hokage. After letting everyone enjoy the moment, he looked at the book and continued to read. When the summer vacation reached its end, Rias had cried a lot because she had thought that she wouldn't be able to see Naruto in a whole year. Because she had school, she would be really busy and didn't have time to play with Naruto anymore. But her parents had calmed her by letting Naruto come with them to their home. The next heiress of the Gremory clan was super happy that day. Ah, all the kunoichi cooed excitedly. Rias never stopped amazed them about her feeling for Naruto. Also in that year span, Naruto knew a lot more about Rias, and he wasn't that surprised when he found out Rias was an otaku, because he had seen her reading manga before when she had time or Naruto was busy. She even had a big collection of manga, anime and cosplay costumes. She even made him watch anime with her until midnight and would fell asleep with her head on his shoulder. She even had a few manga and anime children her ages shouldn't read or watch. But then again, she was a devil, so he guessed this kind of things were not really important to her. Don't tell me that girl read the same type of book Jiraiya-sama was writing. Tsunade looked to a grinning Jiraiya, who have just woken up earlier. Well, it's good to know that she's not a completely innocent girl. A little dirty won't hurt. The Toad Senin chuckled but have to crouch down to dodge the hard punch coming from his short temple's teammates. Naruto was walking through the corridor of the castle while carrying a big box in his hand. This box was something that Lord Gremory wanted to be delivered at the mail, so he told Naruto if he could do it for him. The box was pretty heavy and made him wonder what was inside of it. But thanks to his newfound strength, he could carry this box without problems. Rias was at school at the moment. She had to attend to some meeting that only the high-class devils could attend. Naruto knocked at the door of Lord Gremory's room before opening it. "Gremory-san," Naruto called out to the man who was doing some paperwork at his table. The man looked up and smiled at Naruto. "I delivered the package," said Naruto. He had become very comfortable around Rias's parents. They had taken care of him like their own son for a whole year. Venilana had tried to make him call her Okawa-sama a few times, but Naruto would always refuse the generous offer, saying that he still didn't have the right to call her Okawa-sama. But Rias's mother had said that maybe someday he would call her like that, showing a mysterious smile. "Oh," Kushina blinked while the other just stares at the book in surprise. "I'm very grateful that Venilana-san and Gremory-san took good care of Naruto, but made him calling her Ka-sama wasn't a bit too soon." "That means she trusted Naruto," Minato smiled. "That's all we need now, a loving family who cared for him." Kushina looked at her husband and nodded her head. They always wanted to be the one that giving Naruto the things he need, a loving family that care for him, but seeing that Gremory clan was doing that job for, maybe even better, Kushina couldn't help but felt relief. A mother always wants the best things for their children after all. "Ah, thank you Naruto-kun." Lord Gremory smiled to the blonde-haired boy. Naruto had become a part of his family around a month after he came here. Now he saw the boy as one of his own. Naruto was truly a child that anyone could wish for, kind and full of happiness. The servants at the castle, especially the maids, really like him, because he would always help them whenever he had the chance. Watching Naruto made the parents remember when Sirzex was still a child. "Your job is done Naruto-kun, but I have one more favor to ask you." "What is it Gremory-san?" Naruto asked curiously. Lord Gremory opened a drawer from his desk and took out a letter had the crimson symbols of the Gremory clan on the back. "Please deliver this letter to the head of Sitri clan as soon as possible." He handed him the letter and smiled. "You can go now Naruto-kun, and I still need to finish all this paperwork," said Lord Gremory with a sigh and looked at the massive stacks of paper in front of him. "We know you're feeling Gremory-san," all the cage said at the same time with their heads hung low. Paperwork was the nightmare of being a cage. It's followed them no matter where they went. "I hoped Gremory-san could finish it. By the sound of it, it must be a lot of them." Minato smiled pitifully at the Hokage. He always wonders why neither of them used shadow clones in paperwork. Kushina had showed him the way when he was ready to become the fourth Hokage so he could spend some more time with her. But oh well, he guessed he would let them figure it out themselves. Trying not to laugh, Naruto said goodbye and went to the nearest station to go to the Sitri territory. He still had some problems with the teleport spell. McGregor had said that he had too much magic reserves inside his body and little to no control over it, but it was different when he used his own powers and not the devil ones. So he couldn't use the transportation spell, unless he wanted to appear somewhere he didn't know, or worse, the fallen angel territory. So, no matter where he went, that problems always stick with him. Kakashi sighed heavily, making everyone chuckle. "Well, I have that chakra problem too," Kushina said, pointing at herself. "It's a Uzumaki's thing." Hashirama explained to them. Their chakra reserve was really big, maybe 3 or 4 times bigger than a normal shinobi, I think. He said, much to the shock of the other, except for Kakashi, who already know about Naruto's chakra reserve. Naruto had known a lot about the Sitri household by Venilana's lesson when she was talking about the 72 pillars. Sitri was the house that gave birth the current Leviathan. Members of the Sitri clan were specialized in water-based magic. The Sitri territory was also known for its richness in nature, having the most nature reserves among the few territories belonging to high-class devils. Sitri, so they are one of the most powerful clan like the Gremory. Tsunade said, and a clan that produced the current, Leviathan, too. What's the current Leviathan's named again? Sarafall. Sarafall Leviathan from the Sitri clan. Jiraiya answered. Why do I have the feeling that Naruto was going to meet this Mao? Kiba said with a frown. Everybody just looked at him for a moment then returned to the book. All of them also have the same thought like the youngest child of the Inuzuka clan. The Sitri clan is also known to be one of the few territories which have advanced medical facilities and also having one of the most famous hospitals in the underworld. Even Naruto's brain damage was cured at the most advanced hospital there. After 45 minutes of waiting, Naruto finally arrived at the Sitri territory. It was exactly as he had read about it. This place were filled with so much green, he could see the forest from here and a part of him felt that he wouldn't mind living here for the rest of his life. Naruto felt nothing but peace while being here. It sounded like Konoha, a place filled with tree and forest. Gaara said calmly, making everyone nodded their head in agreement. Actually, it's my work you know. Hashirama laughed and brought his chest out in pride, while the second Hokage just shook his head at his brother's childishness. I have created the forest of Konoha by my Mokuten Jutsu. He finished with a grin, but his expression turned upside down when he saw everyone was looking at the book, pretending he wasn't there at all. From the station Naruto began to walk at the Sitri's castle, hoping that the head of the Sitri clan was at home. Based on what Akeno had told him about the daughter of Sitri clan, she was a good friend of Rias and had some kind of rivalry with her. Naruto could still remember the last time he was here and it was while traveling in an ambulance that was driving him to the hospital. The head doctor even said that he needed the best medical equipment they could get for him. After 20 minutes of walking, Naruto finally reached his destination. He could have run and made it there in only a few minutes, but Naruto wanted to see the city. He could see that the Sitri family was as rich and powerful as the Gremory clan. They were, after all, one of the most powerful family of the 72 pillars. From what he had heard about the current Leviathan, he knew that she was a girl around Sirzek's age, and the most powerful female in the underworld. Not only that, Grafia used to challenge her for the title of Leviathan, and their fight had completely frozen the underworld, but Leviathan had won in the end. Wow, everyone said in surprise, but most of them paled instantly. We knew that Grafia was strong, but on par with a Mao, she must be really, really strong. Not to mention their battles had completely frozen the underworld. Jiraiya looked thoughtful for a moment, and if Sirzek managed to make her his queen, then I don't want to think about how strong he really was. Color began to drain from everyone. To think that Naruto had faced two of the most powerful beings they had ever heard about and still alive, it was nothing but amazing to them. Naruto had done some research about the Sitri family and found out their specialty was the use of water-based magic, but if Grafia and this Leviathan had fought and freeze the underworld, then that meant that Leviathan's magic was ice-based magic, which is somehow different than his or her family's trademark magic. When Naruto was near the gate, he felt a gust of wind behind him and turned around, only to see a pink blur ran past him with extreme speed, nearly knocking him to the ground with the speed alone. This pink blur was going straight to the castle. What the hell is that? Naruto asked. The only person he knew with that kind of speed was Soji. So-tan. A girlish scream rang out from the castle. Naruto wondered who was she and that she had a powerful set of lungs to scream that loud. The castle was really big and had a massive garden, and he could still hear that girl's voice clearly. Wow, this must be the Mao Leviathan. Kushina giggled. She must be finding her sister. This girl, Satan, must be the daughter Naruto was talking about. Yeah. Then slammed his hand onto the table, making everyone flinch in surprise. Damn it, why did all the crazy powerful devils we have heard about was all childish? Having problem with sister complex, can I find someone with a little more brain in their head? He roared. Well, with all that muscles, I wonder what about your brain Raikage-sama? Mei-Terumi giggled, making the Raikage even more angrier than before, while everyone around them roared out in laughter. even though a few of them gulped nervously at the auburn-haired woman's speech. When the door opened for him, Naruto began to walk inside and inform the guard about the message he had to deliver to the head of the Sitri house. At first they didn't trust him, but after seeing the symbol of the Gremory, they had let him in. The castle of the Sitri clan was as big as Gremory's. While inside the Gremory castle was decorated mostly red, the Sitri castle was mostly blue. Even the maids and servants here were wearing a blue outfit with the symbol of Sitri on their chest. Talking about the maids, Naruto could hear a lot of giggles that came from them. Also he would notice how they were throwing glances to him, and began to feel a little uncomfortable. Namikaze charm, we know. Kushina suddenly said before her husband could said anything, making everyone once again busted out in laughter. The loud noise made Sasuke and Sakura woke up with a massive headache. B truly didn't hold back at all when he knocked them out. It was just like the first month at the Gremory castle. All the younger maids there were always glancing at him and would bust out in giggles whenever he looked back. It lasted for a month until Rias had put a stop to it with the help of Akeno, and it was the first time he had ever seen those two actually agree in something. Well, nothing was more dangerous than the combination of the two love-struck devils. Jiraiya giggled in a very pervert way. While Naruto was wondering where the head of the Sitri was, he heard someone coming from behind him and jumped onto him on purpose. Acting quickly, Naruto crouched down and that person flew past his head harmlessly and fell face first onto the ground. The problem was that that jumped was a girl wearing a very short skirt, so when she fell to the ground, her skirt was lifted up to her hip, exposing her white panties for Naruto's eyes. "Look away, Naruto-kun, you have a girlfriend," Kushina yelled out loudly, while the male was cheering for him. "Lucky bastard," Kiba smirked. Naruto had gone a long way since the day the two of them facing each other at their first Chunin exam. If this girl was the Malleviathan, I won't be surprised that much. Kakashi said lazily, while most of them agree with him. Ouch, that hurt. The girl moaned out and trying to stand up. Naruto was trying to look away from the view the girl was giving him. Trying, that's mean. He took glance at them. Jiraiya yelled out, "Atta boy, you're truly my student. Can I?" Tsunade cracked her knuckles dangerously. Her eyes looked like the eyes of a predator. "Please calm down, Tsunade-sama." Shizune smiled nervously while trying to calm the fifth Hokage down. "Save it for later, Tsunade-sama," Gaara said calmly. He wanted to hear more about his best friend, not the sound of a hard punch to the gut and the sound of crashing body into the wall. Are you okay?" said Naruto, trying to look away. Quickly he stood up and went to help the girl in question by offering her a hand. The girl took his hand and stood up. Now Naruto finally had a good view of the girl. She was a beautiful girl with long, black hair tied in twin ponytails and violet eyes. She looked no older than him, but her were bigger than even Akeno, and even some of the adult maids at the Gremory castle. She was dressed in a magical girl's clothing, the same outfit of the main heroine from Magical Girl Milky Spiral 7, an anime Naruto had watched with Rias 3 months ago. She was holding a long wand with the same design than the wand in the anime. Her forehead was slightly red from the impact, but all in all she looked perfectly fine. True to Naruto's describe of Sarafall, the image of the Malleviathan appeared in front of everyone. She was doing some childish pose but looked extremely sexy to the pervert like Jiraiya, said Senin immediately suffered a hard nosebleed. This day was the best day of his life. He just wished he was alive so he could use these devils' images and personality for his smut novel. Another female's girl with extremely beauty, even though she have a childish appearance. Tsunade sighed while her fist was smoking. Behind her was an unconscious Jiraiya with a large bum on his head. If this girl keep appear like this, she might crack his skull with her strength and most likely kill him, even though he was dead already. "Hello," Naruto greeted her with a smile, but the girl was glaring at him like he had taken something important from her. "Where is Sotan?" she asked him while looking directly at his eyes. Her face was so close to him that if he were to move just a little, his nose would touch her. "You're hiding her, aren't you?" she asked with a glare. That was when Naruto felt that something was not right. The temperature around the castle began to drop at a really fast pace. An overprotective older sister, this girl might be even more than Sirzek-san. Kushina said with a frown. I don't know what are you talking about. Naruto tried to defend himself, he took a step back, but the girl also moves forward. Don't lie to me. The girl tried to grab him, but Naruto had decided to run away from the crazy magical girl. He could hear the girl was running right behind him while shouting for him to stop. Oh no. He quickly summoned the tri-prongs kunai in his hand when he realized the blur he saw a few minutes ago was this girl, and she was extremely fast. Before he could throw the kunai, an ice wall had appeared right in front of him and his eyes widen in shock. A girl, in the Sitri clan had used ice-based magic. There was only one Sitri that could do that. Sarafall Leviathan, said Naruto, stopping dead on his track when he realized who was chasing him. But he didn't know that Sarafall was still running and crashed straight into him when he suddenly stopped. He felt something very soft that contacted to the back of his head, but this time he was prepared for it. Naruto quickly regained his balance before he could fall to the ground. You are tougher than I expected. The magical girl, now named Sarafall, quickly left his back with a confused look on her face. Well, now spill out, where is my Sotan? Leviathan-sama. Naruto turned around and said with a serious voice, I don't know what are you talking about, and I didn't hide your Sotan. Naruto pulled the letter out of his pocket and showed it to the Mao. I'm here to deliver this message to your father, the head of Sitri clan, Lord Sitri. Sarafall tiled her head to the side and took the letter from him. Head straight to the point, good. Nodded his head, at least the childishness was gone now. This was the first time he had ever seen the Mao Sarafall Leviathan, and she didn't look like what he had expected. But Naruto knew better than judge a Mao by their appearance. After all, he had learned that the hard way that most of the time crazier and weirder people are always the strong ones. Take Sirzek for an example, and now Sarafall too. We totally agree with you, my boy. Smirked while his brother was rapping about how cool the Devils was, while everyone around him chuckled loudly. Okay. Her hand the letter back to Naruto with a smile, but do you know where Sotan is? I had been looking for her everywhere. Say Leviathan-sama, by any chance this Sotan is your sister? Asked Naruto, getting a nod from here. Then she must be at school at the moment. Said Naruto, trying to calm Sarafall. How did you know that Sotan was at school? Sarafall asked again. This time her playfulness tone was gone. Are you a stalker that followed my sister? I knew she was really cute, said Sarafall, but was quickly interrupted by Naruto. No, Leviathan-sama, my friend Gremory happened to attend at the same meeting as your sister. Said Naruto. The Mao looked at Naruto up and down, and finally realizing something. So you must be Naruto Uzumaki, Sirzek-chan newest pawn. Sarafall said, it's so good that I can finally meet you, you're so cute. Then she beginning to do some pose and finished with a wink, and it looked somehow familiar to him, maybe he had seen those movements somewhere before. My name is Sarafall Leviathan, but you could call me Sarah-chan, or Leviathan. Because I'm the great magical girl Leviathan. This girl sound like Princess Koyuki, wasn't she? Kakashi muttered quietly, she sound like a person have her own TV show. That's it. Now Naruto remembered where all those poses came from. It was from the TV show Emiracle Leviathan. Rias had made him watch that anime with her every Saturday, and the main heroine was a magical girl who would fight the evil forces to protect justice. While it was a little childish, Naruto knew that the children of the underworld really loved the show, and maybe even the adult. Considering that the main heroine was really sexy. Yep. I totally agree now. Kakashi said while nodding. Nar-chan, why don't you ask me for my photograph? Everyone always asked for my photograph when they see me. She must be really popular. The Mao suddenly hugged Naruto really tight. I always wanted to meet you, Nar-chan. You look so cute with the whiskers marks, please, just call me Sarah-chan or Levia-tan, okay? She began to bring her hand to his cheeks and caressed his whisker marks. Damn, I was right, he have another girl followed him. Naruto's cheeks began to redden. While Sirzex was childish, he didn't know that someone could be even more childish than him. The strongest female of the underworld was playing with his whiskers with excitement. He wanted to make her stop, but afraid to make her upset he let her do what she wanted, but instantly remembered about his job here, so he took a step back. Sorry Sarah-chan. The magical Mao eyes shone with happiness when he called her that, but I need to deliver this message to your father. Sorry Nar-chan. Sarafall smiled brightly to him, but my father isn't home now, so if you want, you could give the letter to me, I will give it to my father letter. Oh, thank you Sarah-chan. Naruto lowered his head down to thank her and gave her the letter. Even though Sarafall was smiling brightly and didn't look like it, she was eyeing the blonde-haired boy before her carefully. She had heard about Naruto from Sirzex and found out a lot about him. After all, she was the Mao in charge of foreign affairs. Someone like her was in charge of foreign affairs. Sasuke said with a sneeze. He just woke up recently and saw that everyone was talking about a childish, magical girl Mao. This world must be a mess when they let someone like that did some important job. I don't think so Sasuke. Kakashi's voice cut off Sasuke's speech. Don't underestimate a Mao. They maybe didn't look much, but I know Sarafall-san knew what she was doing. I agree with Kakashi-sensei. Uchiha, now if you please, everyone wants to hear more about Naruto, Kiba said while Akamaru barked angrily at the last Uchiha. She had asked everyone about Naruto as carefully as she could, but Sarafall still didn't found out much about him. This boy before her was full of mystery and even more his power. This boy came out of nowhere and took out the strongest peerage in the underworld with ease. Well, if they didn't underestimate Naruto-kun, then he would be dead by now. Kushina said, terrified at the thought. Don't worry Kushina, he is fine now. Tsunade said smiling at her student. She had heard that Rias and her peerage had some special feelings for him even though they were still very young. It was really common that the full adult female devil always was attracted to powerful males, and she wasn't an exception. TCH, then I must be drawing a lot of attention from those slut devils then. Sasuke roared in laughter while Sakura looked at him with a little hurt that he didn't give her much attention, but cheered for him nonetheless. Well, I don't think so Uchiha, if someone like you there, they probably kill you first then give you attention later. Kushina hissed with anger. This boy, he was so different than her best friend Makoto and the caring Itachi, and if you talk like that again, calling the devil girls with that word again, I promise to you that you won't live to see tomorrow. Her hair flowing everywhere in a very dangerous way, but her eyes was promising Sasuke the unimaginable pain he would suffer. Sasuke's face lost a bit of its color immediately at the threat. Kushina nodded her head to the third Hokage to continue, while everyone was cheering for her, especially the rookie 9. She could see that when Naruto finally grows up, he could be very handsome and attractive, not to mention very powerful with Sirzex's training, and could become ultimate class devil in no time. Just a few years and she might have to get out this childlike form and return to her true age to seduce him. Yufufufu. Jiraiya giggled. If her childlike form was like that, I really wanted to know what her adult form looked like. Ignored him, Tsunade muttered, but, from what Sarafall-san said, it looks like these devils could change their appearance at will. They must have really long lifespan then. Shikaku said with interesting in his voice. Unconsciously Sarafall licked her lips at the thought. Another pervert, this girl will get along fine with Akano-chan. Kushina shuddered at the Mao's action. Sarah-chan, Sarah-chan. Naruto called her out loud while clicking his fingers in front of her, pulling her out of her dream. Thank you but I have to go now. Sarafall was looking around and only to see that she had created an ice wall on both sides of the corridor to prevent him got out. She let a small giggle out and clicked her finger letting the ice slowly melt down. Her ice power was even better than Haku. Kakashi muttered. Naruto looked at her and smiled. Thank you Sarah-chan, see you later. Naruto decided it was time to return to the castle. Rias was probably home and didn't want to upset her, consider that they had planned a lot of things to play together. As soon as Naruto reached the gate he felt someone's arms that were linked into his and turned around only to come face to face with Sarafall who was looking at him with her big violet eyes. Sarah-chan, what are you doing? While he doesn't mind her presence at all, Naruto still was feeling a little nervous, especially when one of the leaders of the underworld had linked her arms with his. That people passed by the castle recognized Sarafall and found the kid who she was walking with really cute and lucky. And full of youth too. Lee screamed out with fire in his eyes. Nar-chan, I want to escort you to the train station, you will let me, won't you? Said Sarafall while small tears were appearing at the corner of her eyes. Here we go, the legendary puppy dog eyes. Minato said while looking with his wife, who was glaring at him with a playful expression in her eyes. Of course Sarah-chan, please don't cry. Said Naruto panicking. A girl crying was something he didn't want to face ever again. He had learned it the hard way when he forgot Rias's birthday last year. The girl had cried all day and acted like she didn't know him or even acknowledge his presence when they were together in the same room. Naruto felt like he was in hell when it happened, which was quite ironic. Forget your girlfriend birthday. Kiba roared out in laughter. You sure have got Naruto. I feel pity for Rias-chan, Kushina said. Naruto-kun shouldn't forget her birthday like that. Well then, let's go. The Satan Mouse said out loudly with excitement in her voice, completely forgetting about her sister, who happened to just arrive at home and was wondering where her immature sister was. Her sister must be really matured for her age then. Smiled. Finally he found some young and serious devils. The only ones he knew was serious were Venilana and Graphia, but both of them were all adult devils. Naruto and Sarafall began to walk through the street of the city heading to the nearest station. When the magical Mao had asked him why he didn't use the teleportation spell for faster transporting, he had told her the truth about his magical energy and the girl kind of felt sorry for him. Usually low-class devil didn't have much magical energy to the point they couldn't use the magical seal to teleport, but in Naruto's case, his magical power was so large and uncontrollable that he would just overcharge the seal. Naruto got in the train. He could see that some children began to gather around Sarafall asking for her photograph. Even though with so many people around her, she still managed to send him a wink and a smile when the train began to move. Naruto thought that even with the immature personality, Sarafall was just a free spirit, someone who would do whatever she want. I agree with my son. Minato nodded his head. Leader like Sirzex and Sarafall, maybe they were insanely strong and have strange personalities, they were all good people, they cared deeply for another living being, that was all we need. Everyone smiled and nodded their heads. The fourth Hokage was right and couldn't help but agreed with him. Yeah, Naruto will be safe with them. Jiraiya said smiling. Checking the clock Naruto's eyes widened slightly. It was already very late and Rias was probably at home right now and looking everywhere for him. With no other choice, he decided to try and teleport himself to the castle. He had put a kunai in the castle just in case of emergencies, but to use it in such a long distance was gonna be really hard for him. Sometimes Naruto couldn't understand his magical reserve at all. People always said that he had an enormous reserve and hardly felt exhaustion when he would use his magic with little to no rest, but when he used his own magic, the magic that he was born with, he always felt more tired than the magic he learned from McGregor. I think Naruto still holds chakra inside him. Shikamaru looked deep in thought. Sometimes, when Naruto uses his magic, he can feel that the energy is slightly different from the energy he used for normal devil magic. Slightly different, then that mean our chakra wasn't that much different than magical power. Once he reached his final destination, Naruto took a deep breath, preparing himself for what was next to come. Rias. As soon as he opened the main door he was met with a very angry Rias. He was really in trouble now. Where have you been? Rias said slowly but dangerously. Her crimson aura began to appear around her, and that's what made him worry. If she tried to be angry, the aura won't appear, but when she really was pissed, the aura could be seen by the eyes. I know why Naruto was attracted to her now, Minato said with a bright face. Huh, why? Kushina looked at her husband incurious. She was just like you. Minato said, when you're angry, your hair, ouch. Minato screamed out when Kushina thrust her elbow into his rib, hard. What are you saying, Minato-kun? She giggled innocently. Nothing, nothing. Minato smiled nervously while holding onto his rib. The other looked at them with a soft smile on their face. I was delivering a message for your father. He answered her as calm as he could. Really? Rias asked him with an eyebrow raise, but when she saw his truthful face, she smiled to him and said excitedly, okay, let's play Naruto-kun. He nodded with a smile and quickly followed her, while he felt a little drained by using his technique, but then again watching her smile would make everything bad he was feeling disappear. Ah, I think someone was having a crush, Kushina said playfully. NDxD0000DxDN. A month later. Naruto-kun, I'm home. Rias blushed slightly at the way she had just said those words. It made her and Naruto look like a married couple. She must be really love Naruto to think that far ahead. Or, she just read and watched too much smut and have those ideas. Jiraiya corrected Tsunade, which the fifth Hokage huffed and turned her head away. Even though the idea always made her happy, what are you doing? She asked, looking at Naruto, who had a lot of his tri-prongs kunai on the table. He was wearing a crimson bracelet in his hand, and another one looked exactly like it on the table. Ah, welcome home, Rias-chan. Naruto stood up and took the bracelet with him. This is for you, Rias-chan. He handed the bracelet to her with a smile on his face, making Rias blush brightly. Really? Rias asked with excitement and put it on her wrist, fitting her perfectly. While it was nothing special, she felt really happy that Naruto had a bracelet just like her. It made them look more like a couple than before, but I hope this won't be my birthday present, she said with a slight glare. She still hadn't forgave him about forgetting her birthday. It's true that she didn't told him that it was her birthday that day, but how could he not recognize the atmosphere around the castle that day? Everyone busted out in laughter. So, Naruto wasn't forgot about Rias's birthday, it just he didn't know it was her birthday and didn't recognize the atmosphere. Don't worry, Rias-chan. Naruto smiled to her. Now, I need you to do me a favor. A nodded from the crimson-haired girl. I need you to go outside and go wherever you want, then channel your demonic power to the bracelet. Minato scratched his chin. I think he had put the Hiroshin's mark on that bracelet then. Okay. Rias nodded her head and head out of the room, a little curious about what would happen if she channeled her energy into the bracelet. When she arrived at the garden, she began to channel her energy into the bracelet and saw it shone a little. Hello, Rias-chan, said Naruto from behind her. Rias gasped out loudly and jumped into the air, but she quickly regained her composure and turned around, only to be face to face with Naruto. Wow, with that bracelet, she could call for Naruto no matter where he was. Minato said in surprise. Nah, wait, how? Rias asked with a frown on her face while pointing at the castle and then to Naruto. She didn't felt anyone around her at all. The training with her brother had helped her sense others better, and now she could be prepared if someone wanted to surprise her from behind. Naruto chuckled and took her wrist and pointed to the bracelet. This bracelet, Rias-chan, work exactly like my tri-prongs kunai. It has a mark that helps me teleport to you whenever I want. Rias' eyes widened in surprise at this, but I had put something more into the bracelet. Whenever you are in danger or want me here with you, just channel your energy into the bracelet. Naruto then pointed to his own, and it will alert me immediately and I will be by your side before you know it. Naruto finished with a smile, but quickly fell to the ground because Rias had jumped onto him and hugged him tightly. Ah, it's so romantic. Kushina squealed out along with the kunoichi. It was very thoughtful of Naruto to give Rias something like that. In some point, I think it was like an engagement ring. Neji said. Everyone immediately nodded their head. Wait, Shikamaru said with a frown on his face, if I remember correctly, wasn't Rias said she have a fiancés in chapter 1? Everyone immediately went silent at Shikamaru's words and looked at each other in worry. Rias must be forced into an engagement by her family then. Tsunade said, in some noble family they have an old traditional that engaged their children to each other so they could keep the high-class lineage or connect the two families together. Rias was a daughter of a great clan, then she must be engaged to someone have the same status at her. But, I don't understand. Kushina shuddered. I mean, wasn't Rias-chan's parents wanted Naruto-chan and Rias-chan to be together? If that was the case, then they must cancel the engagement then. Minato said, making everyone breathed out in relief. I remembered Rias said something about her fiancés was a spoiled brat and she didn't like him one bit. Even thought was agreeing with the fourth Hokage's idea. They couldn't help but thought about the possibility of a battle between Naruto and Rias's fiancés in the future. Thank you Naruto-kun, thank you. Rias cried out happily. This bracelet may be the best gift Naruto had ever given to her. With this, he would always know where she is and always come to her whenever she need him. Era, the couples have it bad again. The usual giggle of Akino made Naruto's and Rias's eyes opened wide and both of them quickly stood up. Rias's queen was standing in front of them with a hand covered her mouth to hide her giggle. Here we go, the true devil had appeared. Everyone groaned out, but really excited nonetheless. All of them had hoped Akino would appear. They really need some good teasing from her to lighten the mood. Akino. Rias groaned out. Well, look like you finally got yourself a very useful artifact wasn't it, Rias-sama? Akino beginning to make her way to the blonde-haired boy and snaked her arms around his neck, she whispered seductively in his ear, but also loud enough so her king could hear, it's good to see you, Naruto-sama. You know you had spent a lot of time with Rias-sama lately, and I'm sure you probably get bored of her and would want to spend time with someone more mature than her, don't you think Naruto-sama? For someone so young, she sure knew how to tease with adult thing. Jiraiya smirked. I wonder where she learned those teasing technique from. Naruto gulped nervously. Akino had been really forward with him lately. The girl always found some way to tease him and Rias. His best friend had told him that her queen had a sadistic personality and it would get really dangerous when she grew up. I totally agree. Akino had refused to call him Naruto no matter what he tried, always called him Naruto-sama, because she didn't mind being dominated by him or under his authority. Damn, not only she had a sadist personality, she also a masochism too. Wasn't she too young to thinking something like that? Everyone just shook their head. Apparently, Akino might be young, but her mind matured in a very different way than normal. Akino even tried to sneak into his room to sleep with him and Rias before, only to be kicked out by a very angry Rias after that he could hear Akino's lightning magic attack boomed outside of the room together with Rias's power of destruction. These girls just pushed the battle of love rival to a whole new level. Ino muttered with a smirk on her face. She still remembered the day when she and Sakura would fight over Sasuke, but never going so far that to the point fighting each other like Rias and Akino. Ino looked at her former friend with a disappointed look on her face. She had changed so much in a few months, she couldn't recognize the Sakura that always supports Naruto in keeping his promise to her anymore. I could see that Akino-san specialized was lightning magic. Ow, the bodyguard of the 5th Mizukage said for the first time, but what about Rias-san's power of destruction? It hoped that power wasn't exactly what it called. He finished while everyone were looking around uncertainly. A paper flew out of the book and Kakashi, the nearest one, caught it before it fall to the ground. Power of destruction is an ability primarily used by members of the Bail clan of devils. The power of destruction is a power that once was exclusive to the Baal clan that is called the Great King and is the highest ranking among the 72 pillars. The Gremory siblings, Sirzex-san and Rias-san, inherited this ability from their mother Venelana, who was from the Baal clan. Sister of a Satan, daughter of the Gremory clan, one of the most powerful clan of the underworld, and now Baal, the clan which was called the Great King and is the highest ranking among the 72 pillars, Tsunade said, "This girl, no wonder why she was called the most powerful princess of the underworld. Incredible, which that much status in Rias-chan still keep her innocent personality and not become a spoiled princess," Kushina said with a smile. "I'm going to like her more and more." Also, as its name suggests, the power of destruction is a type of demonic energy that grants the user's explosive attack power to annihilate things. A devil with higher demonic energy will be able to use it more proficiently, such as in Sirzek's case where he has mastered his power of destruction to the point that it can basically eliminate anything. Kakashi continued to read the paper while everyone was looking at it in shock. The paper began to shine and disappeared to thin air. Kami, that's some power she held there. To think that Susanoo was able to block that attack Sirzex threw at him from Chapter 1. No, I don't think Susanoo was able to block it. I think that Naruto had fused Senjutsu with the ribcage so it could protect him better than normal. Jiraiya explained to everyone. After a minute of talking, everyone returned to the third Hokage. Rias looked at Akeno with her aura flaring out of her body. The fact that Akeno always called her crush, Naruto-sama, always pissed her off. And no matter how many times had passed, Rias's body could never match Akeno's. Her size was always bigger than her and her queen's hip were much wider than Rias. The crimson-haired princess was very proud about her body, but whenever she looked at Akeno, she always wanted to take that fallen angel blood away from that girl. Huh, fallen angel, everyone screamed out in shock. Fallen angel, Akeno-chan was a fallen angel. Kushina muttered with a little surprise in her voice, but how? The evil pieces system, Shikaku said seriously. No doubt about it, Rias-san must use the queen piece to reincarnated Akeno-san into devil then. To think Rias had someone like that in her peerage. Tsunade nodded her head and motioned her hand to her sensei to continue. Rias had heard some boys at her school talk about Akeno. While they had accepted that Rias was the most beautiful and cutest girl at school, they also said that Akeno was the sexiest. The thought about her queen taking Naruto away from her made Rias's anger build up slowly inside her. Maybe she hadn't educated her servants hard enough. Akeno, Rias said sweetly, followed me please. Oh, why should I? She began to rub her body against Naruto, his face reddened at the contact. He could feel her rapidly developing rubbed against his right arm. I'm sure he want me to stay with him, isn't that right Naruto-sama? Seeing Rias gave him the evil glared, Naruto gulped again and turned to the dreaming face of Akeno. Akeno-chan, you should follow Rias, she might need you or something. Why do I have the feeling that Akeno was going to do exactly what Naruto wanted? Your wish is my command Naruto-sama. Akeno nodded her head and turned to Rias with a sadistic smile. Never mind. Sadistic smile. This girl probably need to act like the normal girl her age is more. Tsunade shuddered remembering Orochimaru's sadistic one. Well then Rias-sama, I think we should settle the final score. And beginning to show her own aura, which is yellow in color, but also had lightning cracking around her body. Come with me then. The two girls said goodbye to Naruto and walked away while glaring at each other. Naruto just stood there in silence, watching the king and her queen going inside the castle with the most terrifying aura they could create. When they had finally gone away, Naruto suddenly felt a slight movement behind him. You know Neko-chan, you don't have to hide when you want to see me. Naruto said with a smile, and sat down to the ground while leaning his back to the tree behind him. Slowly, the little white-haired girl made her presence known and sat down onto his lap with her back facing him. Why didn't you come out? You know you can sit on my lap all the time you want. A small hologram appeared above everyone and they immediately looked at it. Everyone knew that this was going to be Koneko's image and couldn't wait to see what she looked like. When the light faded down, the kunoichi immediately squealed out in delight at the cuteness of the white-haired girl. Ah, she was so cute. Kushina squealed out happily. She would look really cute if she has cat's ears and tail. Jiraiya scratched his chin, pretended to be really serious in this matter. Maybe it was a little pervert, but I couldn't help but agree with Jiraiya-sama, she will look really good with cat's ears and cat's tail. Kakashi said lazily. The third Hokage chuckled softly. He too thought that if Koneko has cat's ears and cat's tail, then her cuteness must be gone to a whole new level. The Sandaime waited for everyone to calm down before continuing. Those two, angry, she said curtly and pressed her back into his chest more. Naruto smiled and beginning to rub her head, making the girl purred and pressed her head into his hand more. Her expression sounded like a dog. Kiba looked at Akamaru while rubbing his head. Or a cat, Jiraiya corrected him. Koneko Tuho, the normal quiet girl, had taken a liking for the blonde-haired boy. Out of Rias her king, Naruto was the one person she spent her time the most. From Searzek's information, Koneko was a Nekomata Yukai, a fallen angel and now a Nekomata Yukai. Now I understand why Naruto felt the familiar coming from her. Jiraiya nodded his head, and the girl felt attracted to him because of the natural energy inside him. She always wants to sit on Naruto's lap, saying that she always feel more energy this way, and it's kind of like her old self, a Nekosho. While Naruto didn't know what had happened to the girl that made her rejected her Nekoshu's side, he also didn't want to press into her personal life and let the girl tell him when she wanted to. She rejected her true self. Kushina said surprise, that's not healthy Koneko-chan. Naruto was beginning to gather the energy around him for the girl on his lap, making her sigh happily. Her ears nearly popped out on top of her head, but Koneko quickly regained herself and made her ears return to where it should be. Koneko had said that she could smell various essences coming from him, 10 essences in total, but when Naruto gathered the natural energy, the essence of Toad became the strongest. Naruto just sat there gathering the energy for the girl to enjoy the great feeling of the natural, till nightfall. It was really thoughtful of him to do that for Koneko-chan. Minato smiled alongside with his wife. I'm very proud of you Naruto. NDxD00000DxDN. 1 year later. Another time skip. I wonder what will happen. Hashirama smiled slightly. 14 years old Naruto was walking around the garden of the Gremory's castle, deep in thought. In his hand was some kind of mission that Searzek had assigned specially for him, and only he could do this mission. He didn't know why it was him that should do it, but when Rias found out about the mission, she had forbidden him to go and locked herself in her room when her brother said it had be him or the mission would fail and endanger the world of the devil. Immediately everyone gone silent. By the sound of it, the mission Naruto was going to do must be really dangerous and important. Right now, the bracelet on his wrist was shining with a crimson light, which means Rias is calling for him. But Naruto had to refuse her this time or she won't let him go. Even Rias-chan knew the dangerous of this mission. Kushina said worriedly, the mission is pretty simple but dangerous at the same time. Basically, he had to escort a Juka, Cerseius's best friend and the current Beelzebub, the one who invented the evil pieces system and a lot of powerful artifacts for the devil world, the very intelligent devil to heaven for some business with the seraph angels there. What? Kushina screamed out, are you telling me that they were forcing Naruto-kun to go to the enemy's territory? Everyone was too worried for Naruto now to say anything, they just waited for the Sandaime to continue. Searzek chose Naruto with this mission because he was still a young devil, and the Angles wouldn't think much about him as a threat, so he could go and make sure one of their enemies didn't do something stupid and start in another great war. And that's why Rias was worried, even her parents didn't though it wasn't a good idea, Naruto was still too young to go to their enemy's territory. I totally agree with you guys, Joseph-san, Venelana-san. Minato muttered under his breath. But Naruto knew why Sirzex believed in him. Only the super ultimate class devil could go to heaven without being affected by the light there. The monstrous energy inside him could protect him from the light, not to mention his super healing factor could protect him against the light, if it burns him. Well, it was kind of scary really. He knew that devils' greatest weakness is light-based magic of angels and fallen angels, and he had heard that heavens was filled with light because God had created the never-ending light for the angel. So basically his devil's skin would be in contact with the light 24/7 if he was there. Kami, this mission could be the most dangerous mission I ever heard about. Jiraiya said seriously, just being there were dangerous to them. I hope Naruto didn't accept that mission. Everyone nodded their heads, but knowing Naruto, he probably accepted it and went to heaven. But first, he need to go to the Phoenix family to take a box full of Phoenix tears. Phoenix's tears, shish, everyone said at the same time to Kiba. The boy just chuckled embarrassedly and gestured his head for Sarutobi to continue. It would be a gift for the angel to prove that the devil faction comes in peace. Naruto didn't like the children of Phoenix clan, because as far as he knew, Rias was engaged to the third oldest son of the Phoenix. This chapter was getting worse and worse. Kushina muttered darkly, now we have to hear about Rias-chan's fiancés. Enacted to create a new bloodline, to help the high society grow stronger. What angered Naruto the most was that Riser Phoenix didn't care about love, he only thinks about Rias as a breeding stock, someone that will give him strong children. Angry shouts began to ring out all over the stadium. Everyone couldn't believe what they just heard. They had known this Riser Phoenix was a spoiled brat, but thought about their favorite girl like that, a breeding stock, it was too much to handle for them. Even the normally calm Sarutobi was trying his best not to crush the book in his hand. He likes Rias, and want her to be happy. If Riser doesn't change the way he is in the future, he might put some sense into him, no matter the cost and what happened to him. However, he was a really good friend with Ravel Phoenix, and respected his power deeply. Ravel was kind, unlike his arrogant brother Riser Phoenix. Also, he found the Lord and Lady Phoenix were very kind to him, and had the same loving aura like Rias's parents. But he still hadn't forgave them for forcing Rias into something against her will. If his guess is right, Riser wasn't home around this time. Naruto didn't wanted to see the smirk on his face when he talked about Rias whenever Naruto was around like a piece of meat. The last time they met was around 4 months ago. It took Beowulf and Surf second to hold him back before he could punch that arrogant in the face. Arg, why hold him back? Kushina shouted out angrily while her hair was flowing dangerously. But then again, no one liked that guy anyway. And if Sirzex had told them about Naruto's status in his peerage, maybe he could make Riser shut up for a few minutes, because as far as he knew, he and his sister Ravel Phoenix looked at him like a lucky low-class devil happened to attend the high-class party. I don't know about Riser's sister. Mei chuckled darkly, but I'm beginning to hate her now. Using his power, Naruto appeared right in a flash of yellow right in front of the Phoenix castle's gate. He could see the castle was as elegant as he remembered. Stepping inside the castle with the calmest face he could muster, Naruto began to walk into the castle after showing his intention to the guard. He saw a young girl was waiting for him. Her blonde drill-like curls hair was easy to recognize. It was Ravel Phoenix, the youngest daughter of the Phoenix clan, a truly noble type of lady. Thought so. Ravel is a young girl around Koneko's age with long blonde hair and dark blue eyes. Her hair is tied in twin ponytails with large, drill-like curls, and blue ribbon keeping them in place. The front of her hair has several bangs hanging over her forehead, with a V-shaped fringe hanging over the bridge of her nose. Her outfit consisted of a light white dress with a dark yellow accents and a red bow at the front. At the back, 3 feather-like extensions mimicking a bird's tail protrude from the dress and it looked kind of cute. And images appeared above everyone. This time it was the image of Ravel Phoenix, but everyone's mind was too clouded with hatred toward Riser right now. even Jiraiya didn't comment anything about Ravel's beauty. But, this was the girl had kicked him in the leg and screaming that a servant should go outside. I definitely going to hate this girl. Kushina gripped the tri-prongs kunai she borrowed from her husband dangerously. Maybe that was his fault for not wearing his normal clothes like the rest of Sirzex's peerage, but she didn't need to shout like that. Well, hello there Ravel. Hope you doing well, Naruto said with a smile when he passed her and continued walking to the main room, where Lady Phoenix was waiting for him with the phoenix tears. Naruto-sama, wait, Ravel yelled, making Naruto stopped in his track. Did Ravel, a high, noble lady of the Phoenix clan just called him, Naruto-sama? Oh dear, Kiba muttered, another girl, he didn't know that Naruto was a chick magnet. Ravel tried to run as fast as she could with her short legs, and stopped when she was right in front of him. She bowed as low as she could and started telling him what she always wanted to say all these months ago. Naruto-sama, I'm really sorry for my stupid behavior at the party 10 months ago. I shouldn't have shouted you or to think you're just a lowly servant like that. I'm really sorry Naruto-sama, and ready to take any punishment you want me to. Oh dear, by the sound of it, she must be really ashamed then. Kushina smiled, but still fingered the kunai in her hand. Ravel, no need to bow like that. Naruto put a hand to her shoulder and smiled when she lifted her head up and looked at him with her dark blue eyes. I'm not angry at you or anything, really. Thank you Naruto-sama. The girl smiled brightly and stood up. If you don't want to punish me, then please follow me. My Ka-sama has assigned me to lead you to the main room. Then please lead the way, Ravel. Naruto smiled and followed the girl. When they had passed 3 alleys, Naruto broke the silence. So, Ravel, why did you call me Naruto-sama? Hey, I want to know. Shish, not again. Kiba lowered his head. She began to look around making sure they were alone. My Ka-sama had told me about your status as a pawn of Lucifer-sama. Anyone from the peerages of the Mao had the same or even higher status with the high-class devil like me. So it was pretty normal that I should respect you Naruto-sama. She said to him as low as possible. Wow, who would have thought of something like that? Wait, how did you? She put a finger to his lips and smiled. Don't worry Naruto-sama. Ravel smiled and continued to lead the way. My Ka-sama trusted only myself with this information. After all, you should feel lucky that a noble lady like me showed a good amount of respect to you, Naruto-sama. She begins to laugh, the same kind of laugh a high lady always laugh in some of Rias's anime. Oh dear, Minato smiled nervously while looking at his dangerous wife. If this going to continue, his wife might need to release her stress. But her smile became lower and lower, until she stops and looked at him with a worried look on her face. Naruto-sama, is it true that you're going to heaven? Yeah, it's pretty scary, isn't it? Naruto smiled nervously and scratched the back of his head. Ravel looked at Naruto in surprise. If this mission was assigned to any normal devil, they would be running away before they knew what they had to do. Who said Naruto was normal, even when he was still human? Kiba said with laughter, but this time he didn't being cut off by anyone. In fact, some of them even laughed along with him. That day 10 months ago, when the party of her family was finally finished. Her mother had explained to her about Naruto's status as a member of Sirzek's Lucifer's peerage, and to say she was terrified when she found out the truth was an understatement. Her pride as a daughter of the Phoenix clan got the better of her and made Ravel acted without thinking. I felt sorry for this girl. Her mother had said to Ravel that she had brought great shame to her family and if Naruto wanted to punish her for her stupid action, then she should be gladly accept that, even if he wanted her to be banished from her family. Even though I know Naruto would never do that, isn't that punishment was a little extreme? Baruka asked with a frown. I mean, banish from her own family, who is this devil that taught her something like that? Well, we have been too familiar with the way of Gremory clans. Hashirama shrugged his shoulder, so I guess we feel different when we saw the way of another clan then. But still, it must be really harsh. The thought truly terrified the blonde. She was really surprised when he said that he wasn't angry at her. Naruto was truly kind, warm and forgiving. She blushed a little when she used to think what would happen if he wanted her to be a part of his peerage when he became a high-class devil. Her mother had planned trading Ravel out of her brother's peerage if Naruto ever wanted her. While she doesn't mind being with someone like Naruto, the thought of what could happen if Naruto was a crazy pervert truly scared her. I always wonder how Naruto didn't become a pervert after that 2 years training with a pervert sensei. Tsunade muttered while looking at her teammates. Ho ho, thank you. She might didn't look like it because her pride usually not allowed Ravel to, but she still cared for his well-being when she heard that he was going to escort Ajuka Beelzebub to heaven and help him do some business there. It was just her nature that she to care about him. Naruto-sama. She put her hand into her pocket and pulled out a small Phoenix's tear bottle. It wasn't just any original Phoenix's tears. It was her tears, the tears of a full-blood Phoenix, the tear that could heal the worst wound with just a drop. Ravel had collected these tears since she was a small child and would give it to someone important to her, just like her mother had given her tears to her father when they were young. Please take this, said Ravel handing him the bottle. These are my tears, the tears of a full-blooded Phoenix. Oh dear, please don't tell me that tears also mean she is proposing to Naruto, Kushina gasped. The dislike she had toward Ravel had completely gone now. Wait Ravel, you don't have to. Naruto tried to refuse her offer. He had heard about the tears of the true Phoenix before, and knew they were extremely powerful Phoenix's tears that could heal any wound. But also the tears were really important and special for the members of Phoenix clan. When the young Phoenix gave it to someone, then that's mean they had gave a part of them to the other. To make it short, it was like Ravel was proposing to Naruto. Come on, seriously, Kiba roared in frustration. The girls at this world are throwing themselves at him. What were the problems here? Just me Kiba, we're as confusing as you are. Ino nodded her head in understanding, just like everyone around the room. Don't worry Naruto-sama. She took his hand and put the bottle into his palm. It's just this is the best I could for you after that party. I know you don't want me to, but I want you to have this, to make sure you will be safe when you're there. I'm sure Ria-sama want the same thing to you, so please accept it, for me. Ravel. Naruto suddenly hugged the smaller girl, making her eyes turn wide in surprise and her cheeks redden. Thank you Ravel, I will respect your tears, so thank you. He was really grateful that Ravel had given him her tears, the most important thing to her. With her tears, Naruto felt more assurance about this mission than before, knowing that if he badly injured, her tears might help him have a second chance. He guessed the only daughter of the Phoenix clan didn't just a prideful lady. If Kurama is still inside him with other Biju, he won't need those tears that much. Well, better than nothing, don't you think? Kushina giggled. Wow, I never think that my Naruto have so much girlfriends now. Naruto-sama, please release me. She tried to shrug out of his hug, but failed. He was a lot stronger than her. Ravel's heart was beating so fast that she found it hard to breathe. If he continued to hug her like this, she might faint. What a cute girl. Jiraiya giggled. Damn it. Could we go through a chapter without you ranting about females' beauty? Tsunade shook her head, making everyone chuckle. Oh, sorry. Naruto grinned and released her. The girl turned around to hide her blushing face, but thank you again Ravel. If you want any help, feel free to ask me. Oh of course, after all, you should feel lucky that you have the tears of Phoenix, especially mine. Oh I understand now. Kushina hit her palm with her other hand. She isn't prideful, she is a tsundere. Naruto just chuckled at her. Right, he felt really lucky right now. It was not every day that someone who was just like him, high status or not, could get the tears of the daughter of Phoenix. Those tears must be really special, Tobirama said. With that, Naruto and Ravel just walk in silence in their short journey, the young blonde just too embarrassed to say anything to him. Finally, Naruto arrives at the main room of the castle, where an older version of Ravel was waiting for him with an elegant box with the Phoenix's crest on it. Lady Phoenix looked at Naruto and smiled. She only knew the blonde boy for a short time, but she found him really different, and from her eldest son information when he befriends the boy, Naruto was an orphan and start his life on the street. Maybe that's why his personality was so different than the normal children his age. Well, the way she said it basically true. Sarutobi sighed. No matter what worlds, Naruto always have to start from the bottom. And his personality was still of a good man. A nodded his head. Lady Phoenix. Naruto bowed. Naruto-san, no need to be formal. After all, she looked Ravel, who was trying to avoid her mother gazed. My daughter had wound your pride and embarrassed you in front of everyone. I think I have found the source of Ravel's behavior. Kushina muttered. They really definitely different than Gremory clan, Tsunade said. Just look at how free Rias is. But still, educate a child too hard like that, devil or not, they should have a happy childhood. Ah, no need to worry, my lady. Naruto grinned and patted Ravel on her shoulder. I'm not angry or anything, just a little surprised that you had told Ravel about me, that's all. I know, Naruto-san. The information about your Lucifer-sama's last pawn was top secret and only the highest class devil know about. Phew, this guy is full of secret and now he's top secret. Kiba whistled. This guy. Naruto-kun's flame of youth is burning brighter and brighter with each chapter. Lee roared out in excitement and fire in his eyes. Lady Phoenix then looked at her daughter and motioned her hand for the girl come near her. Ravel did as what she had been told and came near her mother. I told only my daughter, she might be young, but very intelligent, and definitely a good wife. Phew, sound like the mother is already planning everything. I think Rias suited Naruto better than this girl. Kushina looked thoughtful. Both of them are high-class lady came from super-rich family. Jiraiya smirked. Not only that, they also super beautiful. Ravel give and take a few years, I'm sure would become a super attractive devil. Fufu, can wait to see Naruto's child. I could see that. Naruto nodded his head. Ravel sure looked just like a wife, just by looking at how she cared for his well-being. So, Naruto-san, Lady Phoenix handed him the box. It's all the things you need for the angel. It's contained 20 Phoenix's tears bottle inside. I think it would be enough for the angel to know our goodwill. I hope so. Naruto smiled and took the box and checked the clock. It's almost time. Ajuka came to the Gremory castle and he need to be there now. Oh, it's almost time. Goodbye, Lady Phoenix. Thank you for the tears. See you later, Ravel. Good luck, Naruto-san. Good luck, Naruto-sama, and see you later. Naruto nodded his head and disappeared in a flash. Ravel just stared to the spot Naruto was standing a few seconds ago with a dreamy look in her face. Now she knew why the maids at her castle always talk about Naruto and how kind and handsome he is. A few of them even plan quitting their job at her house and move to the Gremory castle, just to look at him. Even the maid, Kiba roared out. Oh, that's it, I give up. What with these devil girls anyway? What could I say? Namika, ouch. Minato screamed out when Kushina pinched his cheek, hard. What did I say about ranting those Namikaze's charm? Kushina asked dangerously. My Naruto will never become a playboy, you got that? Okay, okay. Minato tried to ease the pain, his wife pinched was too hard. Ravel, what do you think about him? He's kind, Ka-sama, Ravel said, and warm too. Not a word, Minato-kun. Kushina held out her hand before her husband could say anything. Did you gave Naruto-san your tears? Her mother asked with a stern voice. Yes, Ka-sama. No reject. Yes. Really. Good. Now I think it's no need to worry about boys chasing after my little daughter when she grew up anymore, she said with a mysterious smirk. Now, how should I name my grandchildren? Ka-sama, it's not like that. Everyone just chuckled at the mothers and daughters moment between the two Phoenix. Naruto arrived at the garden of the Gremory castle instantly and saw everyone was there, even Rias in her peerage was waiting for him. He could see Ajuka Beelzebub, Searzex's best friend, was chatting with Searzex at the corner of the garden. "Ah, Naruto-kun," Searzex said out smiling when he saw Naruto. "Mission accomplished, I hope." "Yes, Searzex-ni-san, the tears are here." Naruto nodded and so him the box. "Brilliant, Naruto-kun, now I think it's time to go." Ajuka grinned brightly and come to stand next to him. A white magic circle appeared under their feet. Naruto looked up at Ajuka in confusion. "Don't worry, with my help, you will be able to use this magic, no need to be worried about appearing in the wrong place." This Ajuka sound like a capable man. Tobirama nodded and turned his head to Hashirama, who was trying to make Darui give him a lollipop. "What? Nothing, brother." The second Hokage just shook his head. "Protect him, will you?" Searzex glared at his best friend. All right. Ajuka laughed. "Don't worry about it. Be careful up there, Naruto-kun." Searzex said seriously to Naruto, "I want to come with you, but 2 Mao would be too much for them, and we don't want to start a new war with them at all." "They sure have grudges against each other, haven't they?" Neji asked. "They sure are." Kakashi nodded his head. "Don't worry, Searzex-ni-san." Naruto smiled. Naruto looked at his wrist and saw that it was shining. He turned his head and saw that Rias was trying to put as much energy as she could into her own bracelet. He walked up to her and put a hand on her shoulder. "She's sad, poor girl." Kushina muttered sadly. "Don't worry, Rias-chan, remembered what I tell you about this bracelet?" Rias nodded her head and looked up. "I will be by your side before you know it. All you have to do is put your magical energy to the bracelet and I will be there for you." "Promise?" she asked, and smiled a little. Rias brought out her pinky finger and showed it to him. Maybe Rias and Naruto wasn't a child anymore, but the pinky promise had become something important to both of them. It's always remind them about the day they met each other, that you will come back to me. "Ah, they are so cute." The girl cooed excitedly. Most of the girl thought it would be better if they bumped hand with each other. "Promise." Naruto grinned and locked his pinky with her. "Come on, Rias, it's just a 1-month mission, nothing to worry about." "Naruto-kun, when you get back, I want you to attend high school with me. Next month, Otu-sama will let Kuo Academy become a co-ed school. I want you to be there with me, to enjoy high school together." Naruto looked at Lord Gremory and saw that he was smiling. Naruto grinned brightly and nodded his head. Kuo Academy was still an all-girl school at the moment. But if Lord Gremory changed it to co-ed, then he could attend it with everyone, included Akino and Koneko when she aged enough. "Cool, I wonder how Naruto handle this kind of school." Iruka smirked. "I hope he don't pull prank." "Okay, Rias-chan, I will attend Kuo with you." "Thank you, Naruto-kun." Rias hugged him tightly. When Naruto had said goodbye to everyone, and got a kiss to the cheek from Akino, much to everyone's shock and an enraged Rias greatly. Here come the sadist. Really, she need to control herself sometime. Koneko had given to him a small white cat toy, her favorite toy, to give him luck for this mission. Searzex's peerage had planned to open a farewell and good luck party for Naruto, but the plan quickly being put to end by Grafia. It's look like the only mature members of Searzex-san's peerage is Grafia-san. Tsunade nodded her head. Good, a stern woman fit the job of control those immature guys the most. So all of them just shook Naruto's hand and wished him good luck. Rias's parents wanted Naruto to take good care of himself when he was up there. But why he had the feeling he won't see them again anytime soon. "I have that feeling too," Kushina said with a frown. "Goodbye everyone, see you later." Ajuka put his hand onto Naruto's shoulder and activated the magic circle. The last thing he saw when everything turned completely white was Rias smiling to him. "Because we were traveling into different territory, it might take a few minutes for the angel to open the gate for us," Ajuka said to Naruto and looked at him. "So Naruto-kun, what's your feeling when you become Searzex's pawns? Good, I hope." "Of course, Ajuka-san." Naruto smiled and then frowned. He has always wanted to ask Ajuka this question. "Ajuka-san, I want to ask you a question. Go on. Well, do you think 5 pawns were a bit too much for me? Naruto asked. Ajuka turned to Naruto with a surprised look on his face. I mean, Anku-san has 1 pawns, Beowulf ni-sama have 2 pawns. Do you think I'm too much? He got 9 beasts inside his body, and even his incredible stamina and chakra reserve, Kakashi said. I think Naruto is worth even more than that. I agree with you, Kakashi. Minato nodded his head. Well, Naruto-kun, you know that Searzex's evil pieces was really strong, right? A nod from the blonde boy. It's the first type evil pieces I had created, the prototype evil pieces. I was still young and inexperienced back then, so I had created 4 sets of them, the prototype without the limitation. So it's only accept the strongest one and turn them into devils or let someone become the one hold the king's servant. Which means Searzex's evil pieces along with the Mao are very powerful, Tobirama said, and if Naruto are nearly double the other pawns, which was absolutely powerful by the sound of that combined, then it's hard to imagine Naruto Uzumaki's current powers. Everyone gulped nervously. Naruto had already powerful with just his Kurama alone inside him. Now with the power of 9 Biju and Mijikyu Sharingan, Hirishin and who know how many powers he still have inside his sleeves, he could be even more powerful than the Rakudo Sennin himself. When the war is over, I had created the 2nd generation evil pieces that could accept anyone. I'm the creator, yet sometimes I can't understand how it's working. But, let me tell you the truth, Naruto-kun. Your evil's pieces, all 5 of them were mutation pieces. Mutation. It sound like some kind of special pieces. Naruto's mouth dropped to the ground in shock. All 5 of his pieces were mutation pieces, then that mean you are worth more than only 5 pawns, Naruto-kun, remember that. Maybe I'm right, Naruto worth a full set of evil pieces. Kakashi muttered while everyone's eyes turned wide in surprise. Naruto opened his eyes again by the funny feeling on his skin and realized they finally arrived in heaven, angels' territory. Naruto looked around, gasped in awe. Heaven was truly a paradise. Naruto had heard about some place in the world that couldn't describe by words alone, and heaven is one of them. Truly amazing, everywhere was filled with sunlight and the castle up here was so beautiful. Up in the sky, some angel was flying with a smile on their face. This place was truly amazing. Heaven, Hashirama sighed, the place we all wanted to come after our death. It sound amazing, isn't it? Kushina said happily. Welcome to heaven, Ajuka-sama. A soft voice pulled Naruto back from him though and he nearly dropped his mouth in shock. Standing before him and Ajuka was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen in his life. She has curly blonde hair and a voluptuous figure. She was wearing a long dress made of some light material, however, it showed a lot of her large bosom, making Naruto nearly have a nosebleed at her charm and beauty. A small light appeared in front of them and the image of a certain blonde angel appeared in front of them. Nearly everyone have to held their nose back to prevent the nosebleed, all the man, even the married ones, all gasped in shock and stared blankly at the angel. Jiraiya had faint the moment she appeared in front of him and even the carefree killer bee have to stop his rapping. Wow, Kushina muttered and looked around, even the woman was affecting by just her beauty. How can someone have this kind of beauty? Tsunade muttered, it's ridiculous. You know, compare her and the other girls and might be some of them were still young. Tobirama muttered, Rias and the other girls looked like a rock comparing to a diamond. True. Ino nodded her head. Hey, stop drooling. Neji and Lee tried to call for their teammates, but he currently spaced out. Neji had got out of his shock stare quicker than everyone and regained his self-control just like his uncle, but the other monks wasn't that lucky. This time, I will not hit everyone. Tsunade shook her head when the image disappeared. I couldn't blame them at all. Suan took the book from her teacher and read it for him. Soon everyone returned to their mind as the story continued. Gabriel, it's good to see you. Ajuka smiled to her. And who is this young man? Gabriel asked with a kind voice when she looked at Naruto, and nearly gasped in shock. Even though she knew this boy was a devil, she could feel his heart and soul were pure, very pure. "Oh dear," Kiba muttered to Shino, "I think another chick is coming." So, these angels can feel the evil inside of a person, kind of like my wife's power of sense the negative emotions. Hashirama said, there were no such thing called hatred or negative emotion in his heart. She had never met a devil like this before. Even some of the human who followed God couldn't have a soul or heart like him. Oh my, Gabriel felt her cheeks redden a little when she continued to enjoy the pure feeling of his heart. "I agree with you, Kiba," Shino muttered quietly. "This young man's name is Naruto Uzumaki, a member of Sirzek's Lucifer's peerage." Gabriel's eyes turned wide at the information. She had fought the current Lucifer's servant before and truly understood their power, but to think that this boy, no older than 15, could be a member of the strongest peerage in the underworld. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Gabriel-san." Naruto smiles and offered his hand to her. Gabriel looked at the boy with curiosity in her eyes, and finally took his hand into her own. The feeling was truly amazing. "Naruto-sama," again with the "sama" thing, thought Naruto. Gabriel flashed him a smile. "The pleasure is mine, Naruto-sama. I hope we could get to know each other better while you are staying here." "What's up with these people?" Sasuke regained his cool, and yelled out in frustration, "I'm better than that dope. They must be blind or a slut to see that dope attractive, especially that angel." He currently still drooling at Gabriel's image in his head, he wanted nothing more than have a taste of her body. "If she ever seen you, Sasuke-tem, she would blast you the moment she laid eyes on you." Kushina said, "Even though I couldn't feel the heart and soul like Gabriel-san, but I know that your heart and soul are completely black to the point I couldn't tell anymore. But I wonder how Naruto have that kind of heart even though he is a devil, I mean." The fountain. Iruka suddenly remembered the trial Naruto went through to control Kyuubi's power. "That right." Killer Bee smiled and began to rap about the heart that didn't hold hatred. Ajuka looked at the nervous Naruto and a blushing Gabriel and smirked. Sirzek had been right when his best friend wanted Naruto to escort him here. His monstrous energy and the healing factor wasn't the only reason, it was because his heart and soul, a truly pure heart and soul. If even the most innocent angel, being attracted to him like this, then Ajuka didn't need to be worried about his work here. Gabriel-san, if you don't mind," Naruto said out suddenly, and motioned his head to their hands. Gabriel looked at his hand and quickly released it. "Oh, I'm sorry." The beautiful angel laughed innocently and looked at Ajuka. "Ajuka-sama, please follow me, my brother is waiting for you." Ajuka nodded and flared out his wings. Naruto quickly do the same. Gabriel smiled and flared out her 10 white wings. 10 wings? Minato asked. "The numbers of the wings must show how powerful they are." Tobirama said, "She must be a very powerful angel," and shot up to the sky. The two devils quickly followed the blonde angels, drawing a lot of attention from the angels around them. When they arrived at the big building, Naruto had to wait outside while Gabriel led Ajuka inside to meet with her brother, the leader of the angels, Michael. Her brother is a leader of angels, while this angel has as much status like Rias or could be even higher. A minute later, Gabriel came out and sat down at the bench Naruto was sitting. "It is beautiful, isn't it?" Gabriel asked when she saw the look on Naruto's face when he looked around. "Yeah, in all my life, this is the first time I have ever seen something like this." Naruto nodded his head. Heaven was truly amazing, he couldn't use a word to describe it. Gabriel looked at the blonde boy with a curious look on her face and decided to stay silent for the time being and let him enjoy the beauty of heaven. After all, she has a lot of time to get to know him. But then, after a while, Naruto turned his head when he heard Ajuka's footstep behind him and turned around facing a wide-eyed Ajuka. "And the problems start from here, I think." Kushina shook her head. "Naruto-kun, I think we have a new problem here." "What happened?" Naruto stood up, but Gabriel was still sitting on the bench with a sad look on her face. We have to stay here longer than I thought. Oh no, I'm not worried about the other, but Rias, she will get angry for sure. How long Ajuka-san? Naruto asked suddenly. The crimson bracelet suddenly became tighter around his wrist. I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 years. 2 years? Kushina cried out in shock. Damn, I think I can see what happened in the next few chapters. Minato muttered while hugging his wife close to him. A shocking look appeared on Naruto's face. The situation had changed now. Rias was going to kill him. But why? Because Naruto-kun, God, he's dead. What?